Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Wait, I know what you're thinking. Where can I get some of that sweet, sweet goods merchandise? I mean, you're right, it is very stylish and creatively designed. I'll tell you where. You can go to teespring.com. If you look in the description below, there'll be a link that'll take you to a website where you'll see all of the goods gear that we wear here on the show. Plus, you'll be like the kids say, lit, as they look at your fit. I have no idea what that means. Just go buy a shirt.
And we're back! Oh, Flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 Brad Pitt movies fresh off of his Golden Globe win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We thought it'd be great to highlight some of Brad's earlier films.
Okay.
And making him the focal point of our first top 5 for 2020.
Which is funny, when you first brought this up, I actually thought that we would have done this one by now. There's a lot of like big name actors that we've just not done a top 5 for.
We did Schwarzenegger like late.
Yeah, I know.
And he should have been one of the first.
I don't know why. But you know what? I'm glad we got to you, Brad.
Absolutely,
Got
Brad. You deserve it. So Terrence, go first.
All right, so which is funny, because I could have done a top 10 list for Brad Pitt, and I had to figure out which were my actual top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see how this works out.
All right.
Number 5. I went with he wasn't the star of the film, but I feel like he stole the film.
Okay.
Snatch.
Snatch. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something right now. This fool made me watch that damn movie so many times when we were living together. It was ridiculous.
I mean, it's one of the few Guy Ritchie films I really like.
Lock, Stock, and Loaded. The other one we used to fucking watch all the time.
That was probably for Sky, not really for me.
Right.
But this film is really about Jason Statham and his character. But when he meets Brad Pitt's gypsy character, the movie becomes Brad Pitt's movie.
Absolutely.
You forget that Jason Statham's really even his movie at this point, because it becomes Brad Pitt's movie. He does his accent so well, and I think this whole little mumbling gypsy accent and when they talk to each other, there's the subtitle, everything. It's amazing, which I think is how he ended up doing Boomhauer's brother on King of the Hill, because he could do that. He could do that.
I love that.
Yeah,
Right.
It was like he could do it. It was like Brad Pitt sells you on everything. You know, it's like he was a bare knuckle fighter. His character was interesting. Like I said, I stopped caring about Jason Statham's character and the whole diamond they were trying to get. All I cared about was Brad Pitt and him winning this fight, or him throwing this fight. If you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert.
Yeah, and just check out the cover box. He's the front and center of the whole cast.
He steals the movie.
Steals the movie. I'll give you that one. All right.
Number 4. I went with Inglourious Bastards. Inglourious Bastards. It was another revisioning by Quentin Tarantino about World War II.
Was he the standout? I'm gonna go Christoph Waltz on that. He got the Oscar.
Yeah, he was probably the standoff in his portrayal as a Nazi soldier. But Brad Pitt got me to the door.
That's right.
He got me to the door. Him playing like that southern.
Killing it.
Yeah, that southern soldier and officer. So he was enough to get me through the door. I followed his journey, even though it wasn't as truthful as they wanted to make you believe. But it was based on it was a remake of the old ones back in the day with Fred Williamson and who else was in that movie? Yeah, it's like a movie from the 70s. It's a remake of it. Yeah, it's a movie from the 70s that they remade, or Quentin Tarantino didn't exactly remake. He saw that movie in the 70s, and then he wanted to do his own version of it. Remember, we had the whole I was trying to remember like the original movie. Remember we had the whole conversation about how he misspelled bastards.
Yes.
Because he thought bastards was spelled one way and it was spelled another way.
Right.
So I mean, that was his interpretation. But him playing. Which is funny because this role in this movie spawned him playing another, I want to say general, but another army. What was the name of that movie?
Fury.
Fury, and another one when he was. It's like he's in like 3 damn military movies. It's like all from Inglourious Bastards. He does great as playing like some kind of Southern Army person. All right. Number 3! This one I kind of flirted actually putting it higher and putting it lower, but somehow I just decided to just put it in the middle. Interview with a Vampire.
Okay.
This is the first one where I actually got introduced to Brad Pitt, and I actually fought wanting to see this film. It was one of those date night films. It's like, oh, we should go see an Interview with the Vampire, and I'm like, I don't want to see gay vampires. Why I want to see it? Why I want to see that? Why do I want to see that? And then I got through watching it, and I was like,
Let's see it again.
oh my god, it was such a great film, and only because of Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise is also in the film.
Not Tom Cruise as Lestat.
Nope, Brad Pitt.
You're kidding me.
Brad Pitt was what got me.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, made me fall in love with Brad Pitt in this film. I wanted to
Literally.
see, I mean, in a sense, yeah, kind of, a little bit. I mean, can't replace Ryan. But, he did such a great job. He made you feel for him. He made you want to cry. He made you think he was beautiful. He
was.
I mean, you had to deal with this whole relationship with him and Tom Cruise, but hey, but things go that way sometimes. But that brings me to number two. Number two!
Got me off guard on that one.
Also, another film where he wasn't technically the lead actor in it.
Troy.
No. Oh, no, because we just talked about Troy.
Is that what you're going with?
Troy is not in my top 5. I took it out. It was in my top 5 for a minute, but what is in my top 5 is Fight Club.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because technically he was not the lead of this film, but his whole schizophrenia personality that he portrayed on screen, dude, that's all we really cared about in this film was his character.
Again, stealing the movie.
He's a co-star in it. It was half his movie and half of
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Thank you.
How do you forget Edward Norton?
I forget everybody's name.
All right.
So, but Edward Norton was kind of like going on the journey. He was the eye. He was our eyes. We got to go through the journey through him. But the movie was really kind of just guided by Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. His performance was great. He could be crazy. He could be kind of low and mellow, and you didn't know what it was gonna turn out to when he first meets him to where it ends up at the end. You were just like, wow, what just happened here? All right, so number one, the biggest meme ever and forever be quoted anytime anybody brings you a box. 7. Anytime anybody brings you a box, look, this movie was. This is one of the. So we went through the whole. I'm a heartthrob age with Interview with the Vampire.
And River runs through it.
Yeah, and exactly. And was Meet Joe Black before or after this?
What? Oh, Meet Joe Black was after.
After? Okay. Well, he went through his heartthrob thing where he was just pretty. People didn't really care about what he did on screen. This one, he tried to be serious. He wanted to be I am an actor. I can do drama. I can stand right next to Morgan Freeman and show that I am as good of an actor as he is on screen. It was you were really into his whole budding detective and going on this thing, and sucked for him in the end and how it turned out. But he really led you on this whole. I mean, he kept you wrapped into the movie itself, and I'm trying to not go into oh, what's in the box, but his most iconic line is that
spoiler in the whole.
Yeah, everybody.
20 years old.
Everybody
knows what's in the box.
Everybody knows what's in the box, but then there's gonna be somebody in the comment that's gonna be
well, I don't know. What's
in the box?
All right.
But the movie was great. He had a great performance. Go see 7 if you haven't seen it, and if you have not seen it, I'm sorry for spoiling what was in the box.
Yes, I'm sorry. All right, my number 5.
Number 5.
He does start with Interview with the Vampire.
Really, number 5 so low? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you were right. He's still pretty in that movie.
Yeah, he's very pretty.
He's very pretty in that movie. But you go from River Runs Through It, or not River Runs Through It. I'm sorry, that's the wrong movie. Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall. That's the other one I was thinking about.
Legends of the Fall. You go into that type of movie, and then you come down a little bit and go through a horror movie like this. And the chemistry that he had with not just Tom Cruise, but with Kristen Dunst too in her first movie, which now, it's not a big deal to me, obviously, but for her first kiss on screen, or period, was Brad Pitt.
And then she got to kiss Tobey Maguire.
And then she got to kiss Upside Down Tobey Maguire. Anyway.
How do you beat that in life, right?
But you look at Interview with the Vampire, and you see it through him in the conversations that he's having with Christian Slater and all that, so it's really great. But then you see the chemistry, like I said before, with Tom Cruise, with Kirsten Dunst, and then you add Antonio Banderas to that. I mean,
forgot he was in the movie.
Yeah, it was a great, fantastic cast, good storytelling, great ending. You gotta check it out if you have not seen it. That's early Brad Pitt, but it's a very good Brad Pitt too.
Number 4!
Number 4, Aspen, this was for you. Moneyball is one of my favorite Brad Pitt movies of all time.
Almost made my list.
He played Billy Bean, I want to say, from the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
And that basically made a roster out of analytics.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely phenomenal.
They still use those analytics to this day.
It is really, really good. Jonah Hill in his first, I want to say he was nominated for that movie, but he branched out from his Judd Apatow Two Live Jews crew and actually went into some serious acting, and this was the first glimpse of it, of what he can do in Moneyball. But Brad Pitt carried it. It was freaking phenomenal. He did an exceptional job. Check out Moneyball if you haven't seen it.
Number 3!
Number 3 is the Golden Globe winning Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Damn it! You want to talk the impact that he had in Snatch, the impact that he had in Fight Club?
Yes.
This movie shows that he has not lost a touch at all, and he can still steal a movie because he steals everything.
Try watching that.
He even steals on freaking Ocean's 11.
Try watching Ad Astra.
Tommy Lee Jones stole that one, but either way, you know, he's just phenomenal in that movie, and I think that whatever he's got with Quentin works.
Yes,
because there's a lot of trust there, and whether or not it's Quentin's screenplay or the freedom that he gives Brad to improvise or whatever he does. It works, and you said it perfectly as far as, you know, his performance in Inglourious Bastards, everything he brought to that. You know, that it's the same thing. I mean,
yeah.
he just they don't lose a beat when they're together. So well-deserved Golden Globe. More than likely going to win the Oscar for this role. Number 3 of all time.
Oscar for best comedy.
Best comedy.
Number 2
for my brother. Tyler Durden's the name. I gotta give it to Fight Club.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal in that movie. And you know, when you look at the ending, it's a complete shock. It gives you another freaking Edward Norton primal fear turn that you didn't freaking expect. But it's still good nonetheless. And then you throw in Helena Bonham Carter, who's actually really freaking good in this movie too. The scenes were really brutal. Brad Pitt sells it great. He just works it, man. And you know, kudos to the entire freaking cast and how they.
You ever notice that he can be like kind of like kooky, quirky character? If you think about like Burn Without,
Burn After Reading. And he's a,
there's like he could be that character and then be like this whole like tough, aggressive guy and stuff at the same time. So
absolutely, yeah, it's insane. But he's got a lot of range.
He could be Batman.
He will not be Batman.
I'm just saying.
Now you got me freaking thinking.
He could be Batman.
He cannot be Batman.
He could have been Batman. I mean, Pattinson's gonna be Batman, but he could have been Batman.
He could have been.
What if we had gotten to him instead of Ben Affleck?
That's very true.
Man,
it would have worked.
I think it would have worked.
I think it would have been a good.
That's right.
Bruce.
Instead, we got the Vanisher.
Number 1.
Number 1.
It's not 6. It's 7. Man. You know what? You're absolutely right. He went through that phase when he was going through Legend of the Fall, and he was going through all these other movies that were just, you know, highlighting his looks. But this one was one where he showed some range. He showed some depth to the character of I want to say Mills, Detective Mills.
Sure.
And yeah, whatever. Anyway, but he was just fantastic, especially, you know, working side by side with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And Gwyneth Paltrow, but his chemistry with Freeman was just amazing. And you go through these different things as far as following the 7 Deadly Sins, and you know, you get fully invested in the character and what's going on. It's just that good of acting.
Yes.
And damn it, I know that he's a freaking, you know, a pariah and nobody wants to touch him. But I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Spacey is freaking phenomenal. I mean,
and there's another story about that.
He had a he had an amazing cameo, and nobody expected it to be him.
No, didn't.
After freaking Usual Suspects, but he was just, fuck, man. He left an imprint in you when it came to that performance and what he does and all of that being Envy and Brad becoming Wrath.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, where the hell have you been? But either way, 7 is absolutely my favorite number 1 Brad Pitt movie of all time.
Stay on the lookout for that upcoming sequel, 8.
10! Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I did put Moneyball. Moneyball almost made it to my top 5. I was thinking about putting that one in there.
What was the conflicting one that you had to go back and forth with?
Well, Troy was the other one I had. Oh, with Moneyball?
Yeah.
It was Troy and Moneyball were up against Snatch.
Mine was Glory and Focus.
Those were definitely going to be in there. I just didn't know if I wanted to add Snatch, but I felt like I wanted to add Snatch because I didn't think you were going to put Snatch in, so I was like, I took those out.
Yeah, as many times you made me watch that movie, no.
Yeah, other honorable mention is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because him and Angelina Jolie, you know,
Homewrecker movie.
Foreshadowing them actually getting together. You got action, and their chemistry on screen was really, really good. And then the last one was 12 Monkeys, and
you like that movie?
I love 12
know you like
monkeys.
that movie. I'm surprised that didn't make it.
Because it was more Bruce Willis
It made
than
your top 5 Bruce Willis.
Yeah, it's more Bruce Willis than it is him. And the other ones that I put in my top 5 were, at least there was an argument to be made that Bruce Willis was half of the film, and not. But he's only a small part.
Okay,
He's only a small part.
Mine was starts with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Also, I did also have Troy because of how. Not just because of him, but you got Orlando Bloom, you got Eric Bana, good performances there. So great. Ocean's 11. I did have Snatch. You know, just Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I mean, damn. That was a good movie.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
That was a great movie. I really like that movie.
Missed a lot of good movies.
Yeah,
because they were so focused on 7.
It's 7 and Heat and The Departed.
Yeah,
we're focused on those.
I had Inglourious Bastards also. That was a toss-up, honestly, between that and Interview with the Vampire.
If y'all have not seen the Assassination
of Jesse James, I was just getting ready to mention that because I forgot to put it on my honorable mentions.
I have not seen that one yet.
It's a good movie.
You can be on this top 5 with no graphics. All right, so
the only part about it is that he dies early. Sorry, spoiler.
Fury.
Fury. Oh, Fury! Oh my God, I forgot Fury.
Phenomenal cast.
I forgot Fury.
You got some damn good people there.
I forgot Fury. Marcos, you didn't tell me Fury when I was doing my top 5 list at work.
I'm gonna go out and throw this one out just because I don't know. I like the movie and I like the animation, so I'm going Cool World.
I had a conversation at work in regards to Cool World because everybody's young. They had never seen Cool World. And I was like, think about Roger Rabbit. But Roger Rabbit,
Rated R Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, Robert Rabbit. That's exactly what I said. It was Roger Rabbit for adults.
Exactly, Roger Rabbit for adults.
They've never seen 7 either because it's not that good.
Oh!
I forgot about Babel.
Babel was good, but it was also depressing, so. All right, and mine is Deadpool 2, Vanisher.
Hit the Vanisher. And I did mention 12 of my honorable mentions. Once again, Art gets no graphics on here. We're not listening.
You want to do your top 5 real quick?
No, we're not doing his top 5.
Yeah, okay, well, you don't get to hear from Art. You already heard him, but you're not going to see any Art.
Yeah, he'll put his top 5 in the comments below. Yeah.
You know what? Art can go look him up, the Indecent Gent, on Twitter. Ask him what his top 5 is, because he ain't showing up here. It ain't gonna happen. Terrence, take us home!
Once again, Art will be putting his top 5 in the comments below. You can hash it out with him as far as what you want your top 5 to be. Make sure you also list it in the comments below. It's a new year for us, so it's our first top 5 of the year. And if you haven't already subscribed to us, make sure you do it now by clicking that notification bell as well as the big red subscribe button on the side. So that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do on the channel, as well as you will see that we will start talking about other things out there because we need money. So make sure you buy a shirt. Make sure you donate some money so that way we can be here in 2021 when the apocalypse happens.
Which we're still trying to figure out why we've been here since 2015.
Real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. Give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take a dollar. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they don't have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com/thegoods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it.
Top Flight.